Ladies and gentlemen, the man who will make the selection is the general manager of the Detroit Pistons, Troy Weaver, and he joins us from Chicago. Good morning. How are you?
Morning, gentlemen.
We're doing good. Now, Troy, as you can imagine, Piston fans are very disappointed. Should they be very disappointed?
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, we got the number one pick last year. We fell to 5 this year. I love the board. I love the players that we'll have a chance to select from. So, no, Pistons fans shouldn't be disappointed. I mean, look at last year. Those guys from Ford, I mean, Getty was a tremendous player at 6. Suggs was a good player at 5. And the rookie of the year was at 4. So, no, we like the board, and we'll be ready to go on draft night.
I know you mentioned last night that if the draft were today, you'd be ready to go. How much movement, how much more work is there to do between now and the draft in regards to the players that you're looking at?
Yeah, there's still a lot of work. Interviews, bring them into Detroit, and get a feel for them that way. The personal part now, we've evaluated them throughout their careers, and now it's getting to know them and see what kind of fit they would be for our franchise. So there's still work to be done, and we're here in Chicago finishing out part of that process.
I know you're hesitant to actually talk about individual players. I mean, no GM does that before the drafts. But I do want to ask you about, well, not a particular player, but kind of a realm of a player. There's a player out there, and you know who I'm going to be talking about, where the last competitive basketball we saw, or at least I did, was YouTube at the Atlanta Peach Jam. How tough is it, not just him, to evaluate players who haven't played competitive basketball since really high school or AAU?
Yeah, I mean, that's the job. That's the world we live in. These guys are coming out young. They aren't playing sometimes a lot of basketball to be evaluated. But when they do play, you have to have those evaluations, and you have to do your background and make a good selection. But guys not playing for 6 months or whatever the case may be, you still got to do your work. And we'll do our work, and we'll be excited about that prospect and the rest of them that are on the board.
I know that there's always a debate about best player available versus how they fit in your system with the players that you already have on your roster. How do you make that balance this year, knowing that, because you mentioned you won the lottery last year, you got Cade Cunningham, had a good rookie season. How much of it is best player available along with how they fit with Cade and others on your roster?
Well, that'll be pretty easy for us. It's going to be best fit for the way we want to build the team, and we want that person to have certain characteristics. That's why we say we draft people and not players, and whomever we settle on will have the same characteristics of the guys we just drafted.
Whether it's draft or free agency or trade, what do you think is the biggest need for this team right now?
Can you say that again?
What do you think is the biggest need for the team? Whether you get it through the draft, trade, free agency, what are you sitting there saying, we need this more than any other thing?
I mean, I continue to say we need to add depth. I mean, if you look around the league, the teams that are still standing can withstand injuries. And last year we couldn't. We had some injuries and we kind of fell off. And then we, picked it back up after All-Star break because we were healthy. So we want to add depth to this team, quality players, quality individuals. I think that's the thing we're looking for most, to add a couple more good players to the team.
One of the unique things about the NBA offseason and the schedule is that the draft happens before free agency. How do you draft and continue to make plans for free agency, those that you might be able to get in free agency? Will that affect how you draft?
No. We're going to make the best selection that won't prohibit us from what we want to do in free agency. We'll, combine the two, but, we're not going to draft a guy and say, now we're not going to do this in free agency. No, we're going to try to continue to add the kind of people that can continue to move us forward. But the draft has young players. Free agency will have some experience. So coupling those two things together, I think both can help us continue to move the ball down the field.
Troy Weaver joined us on the Stoney and Jansen program. What type of decision do you have to make about Jeremy Grant, and how tough is that decision going to be? Keep him, trade him, whatever?
I mean, he's still on a contract, so
right.
It's not a tough decision. Like I said, we'll see, but we love having Jeremy in the Detroit uniform. He's been a tremendous player for us, and, we'd be very comfortable moving forward with him. Like I said, we'll vet out everything and see what comes about, but we don't deem that as a marquee decision right now.
Do you want to bring Bagley back?
Absolutely.
What did you see from him from the moment that you acquired him to the end of the season? It seemed like he started to fit a little bit better with Cade, with some of the other guys on the team, and playing better. What did you see from your perspective?
Yeah, he got an opportunity to showcase himself, but more importantly, he came in and he gave us something we didn't need. That we didn't have. That was much needed, a front court athlete that could rebound, that could score at the basket. That was very noticeable when he joined the ball club. So we're excited to have his skill set. But the person, he's a great individual. He fits in the locker room, and the guys love having him on the team.
Last time we spoke, we talked about this draft class, and this was about maybe 3-4 months ago. It's after the trading deadline. And you said this draft has at least 7 guys that you're very comfortable picking. You still feel that way, 7, or has it even slipped to 5?
No, 7. I'm still comfortable with top 7 guys. So, no, like I said, we'll have some good choices at 5 and be excited about it.
Is there? I know the lottery just happened last night, but we've seen you be very active come draft day. How much would you look at either moving up, moving back, or marketing that number 5 pick?
We'll look at everything. You know that. John, we'll be aggressive. We'll try to maximize our opportunities, but we'll definitely look at everything for sure. Now, moving up, moving back. Everything.
Now, historically, the 5th pick, people might be upset, but, some names, Trae Young, De'Aaron Fox, I don't know, you even go back, Dwayne Wade, Charles Barkley, Juwan Howard, the guy from the Harvard of the Potomac, Kermit Washington, Steve Smith from here. There's a lot of Scottie Pippen, Charlie, like I said, there's a lot of great players that have come with the 5th pick, right?
No, absolutely. So, you just named some great ones. So, now, like I said, we'll be excited at 5, and we think it'll be a good player there.
Now, in fairness, there have been some busts, too. Alex Len, Sheldon Williams, I can go on and that. But so I wouldn't call it a crapshoot, but you never know, as you know, right?
No. No, it's not. You can call it a lot of things, but we'll do our work and be prepared. So, like I said, we're excited.
When you look at the last couple of drafts that you've had, what is it that you've learned about, as you continue to evolve your process, how you make that decision, how you gather the information? Has it changed at all since you've been here in Detroit?
No, not at all. We'll stay with our process and vet them all out and be excited to make the pick. But, no, you just gather. We call it ideas and numbers. We'll compile all that information and make a formed decision out of that. So, no, we'll continue to keep our same process.
Final thing I want to ask you, because I know you got to go. you got your tickets for the big Commanders game here? Week 2. You and Jansen sitting together rooting for the DC team here.
Absolutely. We'll be there. I'm a Lions fan, but week 2, it's going to be tough.
Yes. Troy Weaver and John Jansen Day.
Yeah, where are you on with the Commanders as the nickname, by the way?
I mean, it's going to grow on us, so I might as well, fall in love with it now. It'll grow on us like any other name. You don't like it at first, but then it grows on you. So I'm going to just let it, marinate, and it's growing on me already. So I'm good with it. There's nothing we can do about it. Right, Jansen?
Yeah, that's right. Yes, yeah. There's a lot of things that grow on you, and it's one of those things.
Yes.
Exactly.
Now, last year you said the Bucs were going to win it. Now, obviously, we're down to 4 teams, so it's a little easier to pick. But who did you like before the playoffs started, and the 4 teams left? Who do you think is going to win it?
My pick didn't look good last night. I picked Boston. So if they get their guys back healthy, I'm going to ride with them. But I just think that their defense is tremendous. And they got, 2 guys that can go off for 30 at any time. So I like Boston. It's hard to – Miami, they teed up and they play great defense as well. But my pick going into the playoffs was Boston.
All right. Well, thanks as always.
Thanks, Troy.
Sorry you didn't get the pick that the fans wanted, but you're okay with it. And if you're okay with it, I guess we should be too, right?
No, we're great with it, so we shouldn't be sorry.
All right.